All right, welcome back. If you are coming from the Super Clean giveaway video, that's right, working on the GX. This is not actually a video I was planning on making, but I got into it and decided there's a lot of good information here for you GX470 guys, and probably other Lexus and Toyota people also, because Toyota uses a lot of the same principles and techniques in a lot of their building. So I am in the process of doing the tan black split sport interior, so it'll be a faux sport interior for mine. So I've got a door panel here and I'm tearing apart, getting ready for paint. We're gonna look at this door panel and we're gonna talk about what you need to do, and we're gonna talk about why Toyota and Lexus is just better than everything else. I've got the driver's door panel here. I'm not going to go through how to take it off. There's a lot of videos on how to get the door panels off of these things. It's extremely easy. What I'm going to be focusing on is removing this colored strip here that would have been wood grain or whatever color, because I'm going to be painting that, and I'm going to be painting this entire top section here black as well. Bear with me, this is kind of a raw video. The garage is a disaster. And I didn't really plan on doing this today. It's been 100+ degrees this week in Iowa, which, yeah, I'm sure a lot of you are like, Joe, it's not that bad. It's like way worse down south. But it's also been 900% humidity. Don't tell me that's not a thing. Come move to Iowa for a year, and then we can chat. But anyway, let me flip this over real quick, and we're gonna take. So this is the back of the panel here. Actually, you know what? Let's go over here and grab, so this is the painted trim piece. I had painted mine gray. I'm going to a gloss black, and it is it's screwed in here with, this is a little overkill, but this gives you an idea. Like, over my years, I've owned Ford, Chevy, Jeep, Chrysler, now I'm with the Toyotas, but other brand, like, they would have just had a pressed plastic piece that would have, you know, pressed it all together, glued it all together, which, yes, this does have some of that. But this trim piece, which is not structural, it doesn't hold up anything, whatever, was held in with let me focus a little bit better, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Phillips head screws like this. So it's just, of course, doing something like that costs more to design, costs more to build, and there's no reason to have it like that other than it's just a good way to put it together instead of having a smashed, pressed piece together. And it's also an example of smart business practice, because this is a world platform. They used different colors of these. So instead of having to press together let's see, there was regular wood grain, the reddish wood grain, silver ones on the Prados, black wood. I feel like I'm missing one. So they just have these different panels that they screw together instead of pressing it all together. But, you know, so you're going to go in here, you have to peel a little bit of this padding back, you get your screws out, you can pop that panel off. You're also probably going to want to, this is the door handle assembly. There's one screw on the back of this. You'll have to undo the wiring harness. That all just slides out. And then another thing, when I'm talking about just stuff slapped together, pressed together, glued together, this is the weather stripping, the window channel. It has all of these metal fingers running along the back that go into these little holes, and I just used a screwdriver. They're really easy to bend. I just started bending it and then finished with my finger, peeled that all off. I am going to have to paint the back of this because you will see it from the outside. So there's that. It's hard to explain when you're not in person. If you've not torn a bunch of other cars apart, you can see the attention to detail, the little added extra pieces of engineering, and it's what I tell everyone that I tell to buy a Toyota. Oh, they're so much more expensive comparatively for a used car. It's called the Toyota tax. That's what I call it. It's your admission into the club, because your resale value, your trade-in value will always be worth more than domestic. And I will also be the I love all cars. There's great stuff about all cars, but this stuff makes sense. They knew what they were doing, and I love it as a DIY car guy. When I get to stuff like this, because there's no reason they needed to do this, but it just makes tinkering that much easier. Let's flip this over. I did clean it with some super clean. Normally, if you're gonna buy the foaming cleanser, normally I wouldn't recommend using that stuff as an interior cleaner, unless your interior is really nasty, because it is fairly aggressive. If you're gonna use that as an interior cleaner, you need to use it, clean it, dry it, and immediately put on some kind of interior dressing product, because it is going to dry the stuff off. But I really needed to get any dirt, old dressing, grease, grime, hand oils off of this so that I can paint it. I'll wipe it down really good with rubbing alcohol, hit it with some adhesion promoter, and then I'm going to paint it with some Rust-Oleum primer and paint matte black, which is what I've used for the rest of the interior parts that I've had to paint, and it's been really good. We'll do that. We'll take a look after. All right, quick change of plans. I went to go ahead and tape the front of the door panel off, and I was trying to tuck the tape in, and it's so humid out, and it doesn't want to stick to like the vinyl that's on it. So I decided, I've done this in the past, and it's going to be much easier in the long run. It's a little bit scarier for some of you that may not have done it. The top part of this door panel is bonded to the bottom half of the door panel, because like it's a piece of molded plastic. They wrap it with vinyl. It's actually wrapped with vinyl. It's not just a big old plastic piece. Another reason why Toyotas are more expensive. Yes, I know a lot of other cars do that now. But anyway, it's pressed together. They have like these plastic fingers that come up through, and then they're like mushroomed out with like a heat gun or a soldering iron, etc., etc. There's 5 of those little mushroom things on here, and I've been cutting them off. I ended up using a 3M disc on my drill. Actually worked way better than I expected. I usually use like a sander or something. Keeps the mess down. Just take enough off so that you can use a little pry tool, something like this, to get in there. So here's one that I haven't done. I'm gonna go ahead and grind it now. And it literally took like 30 seconds, and I was going to show you guys how I popped it off, but it came off so easily, this just fell off. So long run, I think this is going to be much simpler, much easier. I can clean it better. I don't have to do any taping. I did end up pulling the tweeter out of the back. There's 2 screws, and that whole thing pops out. There's some clips for wiring. So yeah, that's where I'm at now. To put it back together, so here's one of the, let's see if we can get you a better shot there. There's one of those plastic fingers. It's got a little bit of you know, residue on there. I'll clean that up with a razor blade. I'll pop that through. I'll probably do like some 2-part clear epoxy. I'll put like a daub on each one of these little fingers. I'll put it all together. Use some like spring-loaded clamps or something, and do it. And then after that dries, I'll probably use my soldering iron and try to melt that and smear it back around in there, just because that's how I've done it in the past. Honestly, I've held these back together with hot glue, because this is also going to be held back together with screws. So that trim piece is going to go in there. It's going to get all screwed together. Some of that is going to sandwich the top part to the bottom part, and then the whole door panel is going to get screwed to the door, and you're not really going to have to worry about it. So let's finish cleaning this and get some paint on it and get it put back together. I can't wait to see how it looks. All right, I've got the door panel back in. Unfortunately, I didn't film when I was putting it back together. I was running short of time, so I just had to slap it back together. Let's go take the finished product, which I'm pretty darn happy about. Here's the finished door panel. I'm really happy. It's exactly how I wanted it to look. The finish is a little uneven. It's just barely been 24 hours, and it's been humid, so it's still technically completely drying, but it looks good with the rest of my black dash. I did gloss clear coat on the trim panel here. This is just black plastic, whatever. Technically, this part should all be black here to make it really look like the Sport Edition, the OEM Sport Edition. But I figured I would just leave that for now and see how it looked. You can see I went ahead and painted my corners. I took out the vent pieces. I did this a few weeks ago. I just unsnapped the whole inside. It saved a lot of work not painting the actual vents themselves. I figured we'll see how it looks and maybe it kind of gives some transition over. I think it looks fine. A whole lot less work and a whole lot less money instead of buying all new pods. We'll go ahead and shut the door and I'll show you from closed. And here's the interior, basically from the inside. Black dash cover, black gloss trim. I still need to paint these uprights. I'm gonna paint these gloss black as well. There's just too many colors going on in here. I did my black cockpit, as you've seen probably in the past, with black steering wheel cover. These are the AliExpress, like $15 shipped shift knobs, and this one has the gloss black on the back of it, just to tie everything together. For the amount of time and effort and money that I've got in this, pretty happy with how it is turning out. All right, there you have it. I will link at the end of the video or down below or both more interior videos. The black dash cover, the center console, painting everything black in the cockpit area, the black leather steering wheel cover. I have a coupon code for that steering wheel cover. I can link that down below. So check those out. If there's anything that you don't see that you want to know more about, email me, hawkeyeskunkworks@gmail.com, or follow the links over to my Instagram, my Facebook, and DM me over there. So I used JB Weld to, quick dry JB Weld to glue that door panel back together. Put a little bit on each one of those little posts, those little fingers, slapped it together, smeared a little bit more on top. It's like 5 minutes, it sets up and totally dry, rock hard in an hour, and rock solid. So I have no worries about that. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, turn those notifications on. We shoot for a video every Sunday. Check out my back catalog, follow those links over to Instagram and Facebook like I said before. And until the next video drops, thank you for watching, take care, goodbye.